what's up guys, and welcome to Cybercore Gaming Channel and to its first review! Now we will be reviewing Ty The Tasmanian Tiger, the game that I finished. The walkthrough is already up, it is already done. It took a little bit to get this review up, had a little bit of troubles, but we are done. Now for our first review, I will go over 5 things that I think can make or break a game. I will be talking about the story, the graphics, and the controls, and music, and enemies and bosses. And then I will give the total game, and I will talk about the pros and the cons, and a score. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Story. The story of Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, it first begins with Ty. He's playing tag with a friend, falls down a hole. Then this elder guy tells Ty about this great battle fought between the antagonist Boss Cass and Ty's family. Boss Cass gets the slip on Ty's family and shoves them all in a separate dimension, because in this battle, Boss Cass is trying to take these 5 talismans, and somehow he ends up trapping them in this separate dimension. But in the meanwhile, Ty's father uses his boomerang and scatters all of the 5 mystic talismans. And I guess this mystical talisman also have the power to destroy the world, or the power for him to rule over it. So that is your objective in this story, is to collect these 5 talismans so you can bring your family back from this separate dimension. The story is good and motivating. I mean, you feel like you want to rescue his family, and in the beginning, yeah, you start to go for it. Towards the middle of it, it starts to feel a little bland, but it's like, alright, we're going to persevere and try to get through it. But the only problem I have with the story is right at the end, where you had to fight his brother, Ty's brother. I mean, somewhere in the middle of the game, you fight him, you beat him. Sly, the name of Ty's brother, has been raised since he was little by Boss Cass, but all of a sudden at the end he just decides to become good. I think it was too fast. It would have required another game, or make the game longer for Sly to become good. I mean, it was too fast, it was stupid. I mean, why out of the blue he just decides to become Ty's ally? It wasn't great. They should have emphasized on that. They could have worked more on that, but oh well, that is my only problem with the story. Overall, the story is good, and it's not bad. Now, for graphics. The pros of the graphics are that the graphics in some levels are great, especially in the water levels. I don't like water levels, but they are good. I mean, you see coral, there's tiny fish swimming around, and the rainforest levels are not bad either. I mean, you'll have butterflies, bugs, and kangaroos and other stuff jumping around, especially in the hub world. It's alright. And wait a minute, I have to talk about the character designs. The character designs are great. I didn't have a problem with the character designs. In fact, I love the drawing of Ty. It's not bad. I like it. And I even would like to have a poster of Ty. The only problem I have with the graphic designs is when you get into the snow level and the Outback Safari level, it doesn't seem all that great. The snow levels is where the graphics seem to go downhill tremendously. I mean, it just seems dull and bland, and it just didn't seem great to me. But the water levels, thumbs up, thumbs up. I really do like the graphics on the water level. I mean, to the coral, and I mean, flat out, you be swimming and there's a sea turtle to swim right past you. Okay, now on to the third subject. Controls. Ty's controls are great. From throwing your boomerang, to biting your enemy, to jumping, and then gliding from a high spot, or to swimming. I mean, his swimming is alright. It's not bad. His controls overall are great. There's not a problem with it. There is one issue I have with the controls, is that the camera is inverted and you cannot fix it. There's no way to fix it at all, and it messes with my gameplay, and I hate it. That is the only issue I have with Ty's controls. On to the next subject is music. Music in some levels, they were great, like Bridge on the River Ty or Outback Safari. If you watch my walkthrough, you'll hear me humming it in the back instead of commentating on the video. It's because I really love those soundtracks, and even throughout the day I'll find myself, it'll be stuck in my head, and I was like, why am I humming this? But then again, in some levels, like Liar Liar Pants on Fire, some of the final levels, and again, the snow levels, they really did not do great on these snow levels. The music just goes downhill, and I feel like music can be a drag on a level. And any game, even in some dungeons, if you're talking like Legend of Zelda, have one particular dungeon in Legend of Zelda, the music is bad, but the dungeon is a great puzzle and adventure. I love the dungeon, but I don't like the music. I think a music can really have a huge impact on a game. Now, to enemies and bosses. Since this is early 2000, this game came out 2002, so it's right during the PlayStation 2 era. The enemies are great, they're fun, I love smacking them with the boomerangs, I love the little dying mechanic and the way they go up in a little poof of smoke and it's in a shape of a skull. It's fun, and I like how they try to change up the bad guys. They didn't try just to keep it the same bad guy over and over. I like how they did that, but they did only show one main bad guy, but they did towards the middle and the end throw in some new bad guys, so I like that. There is one boss I like. It is the second boss where you get no hints or clues on how to beat it. I even say in my walkthrough how long I got stuck on that boss, but I did eventually beat him. Crikey's Cove is the second boss and is the only boss where I figure you have to use a little bit of thought to how to beat him. But all the other bosses are way too easy, laughable easy, and you won't remember these bosses. They are I can't say the word. You won't remember them. The first boss, the final bosses, and the third boss is particular. I do not like the third boss because they give you a hint on how to beat the third boss. Why would you give me a hint? You don't give me a hint on any other bosses. There is a total of 5 bosses in this game. In the third boss, they give me a hint. Why? They shouldn't have done that. I don't like it when you give me a hint on a boss. I want to recognize the patterns. I want to figure it out myself. But they decided to give us a hint, so that will drag down the score of the game. And also, these bosses are way too easy. Just way too easy. Now, the total game. This is where I finalize how I feel about Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. It's a fun game. You're not going to get bored with it. It is a fun game. But it does have its issues. I mean, Ty is a great game. It is fun. I mean, I loved it since I was little. It was a great game. But I recommend it for like a younger player. I mean, kids who are first starting out games. If you've already played a lot of 3D platforming and other games, like experienced gamers, you recognize this game's not so great, and that it's good. That it's just a good game. If you're a younger kid, then yeah, the game would be great. But the cons of the game I would say that it's very repetitive, and there are way too much collectibles in this game. Way too much collectibles in this game. Way too much. 300 of these. One Pacific Opal, an opal that is your main collectible. I heard they turned that into a currency of money in the second game, but in the first game, it is just way too much to collect, and the bigger the levels get, it just gets, you're pulling your hair out if you miss one, and I've missed one several times. So this game also gets way too repetitive. You start to get really tired because you have to find the same things, the same and the levels are always the same. They're just either upgraded to be bigger and different. They never try to do anything new. I mean, they did try to do, I think, 2 things that I saw was new. One, they did a turret section, which I don't like turrets, so that was stupid. Second, they made you ride on a bull, which that was actually fun. I did like that change of pace, but other than that, it's really repetitive, and that drags it down for me, because by the time I'm halfway done with the game, I just want to be done. I don't want to play this game anymore. When I was younger, I was like, yay, this game is great. I mean, I want to finish this 100%, but that's how I feel about the game, guys. For the score I will give on this game, it did not succeed to greatness, but it stayed in good. So I'm going to do it between a 1 and a 10, and I feel like it deserves 6.5. It does not touch 7, and it does not hit 6. I feel like it deserves 6.5 to me. That is my opinion on this game. This is a good game. It did come out on PlayStation 2, with the original Xbox, GameCube, and I heard that maybe a couple years back or recently that it came out on Steam. I also like to note, if you buy this game pre-owned, it's probably going to be glitchy, since it's a 2002 game. I mean, I've had this game for a while, and the opals start to disappear from time to time, and that can be a pain. But I figure if it's going to be on Steam, it might be better, so I recommend you might just buy it on Steam. Also, this game is not that bad on the price. I've heard from $10 to $7. So, I do recommend this game. Guys, if you find this game, I recommend that you buy it. Now, this is the end of our review. Cyber and Cord signing out. Hit a like, subscribe, comment, and guys, we'll have a walkthrough on this channel soon, so keep watching, and we will have the next walkthrough up there. You guys have a nice day.